been studying Norse mythology, and this is a fantasy based on some of those stories. In this scene, Loki has been taken captive by elves after being cast out of Asgard. "And what is an Asgardian doing in the realm of light elves?" Brandir said lazily. "My name is Loki," he said, keeping still as to not slice himself on either blade, as Sigurd's now pressed against the small of his back. "Answer my first question, fool," Brandir hissed, cocking his head, pressing his blade harder against Loki's temple. "I came here by accident. I stumbled across a portal that ended up here, with no way back to Asgard," he sighed, tilting his head away from the blade. "Sigyn?" Brandir kept his eyes on Loki. "He said the same to me, sir," Sigyn said, nodding. Brandir looked Loki up and down, his cold green eyes meeting with Loki's every few seconds. He lowered his sword, turning away from the captive. "And, Loki, if you've wandered this far into Light Elf territory like this, how is it you haven't been caught?" Brandir questioned, placing his hands behind his back. Loki was silent. He continued to glare at the back of Brandir's head. Sigyn kept her sword to his back, looking from him to Brandir, her expression unreadable. Brandir waited for a response, glancing around the camp and up into the trees. Loki felt strong, but not very confident. He dropped his gaze to his boots, his defiant scowl dissolving. Brandir finally faced him, lifting Loki's chin and gazing into his eyes. A smirk slid onto his face as he took hold of Loki's wrists and bound them together with a thick vine-like rope. "Well, Loki of Asgard, I believe you need to see someone about your nearly successful infiltration into my realm," he said with deep satisfaction, then turned to Sigyn. "Take him to Queen Gwenora. He is not telling us his full name and title." Sigyn nodded, prodding Loki in the back with her sword. She had to help him up onto her horse, which was difficult to get onto in the first place, as she was so large. Loki felt his face burn as Sigyn snickered from behind him, before she too climbed up. "Can you hold on? I don't want you falling off and cracking your head open," Sigyn said, looking over her shoulder. "Yeah," Loki grunted, legs hugging the horse's fat belly, boots dug into the footholds dangling from the saddle. He was wrong. Sigyn shouted, and the white mare leapt into a gallop. Loki slid backwards, but felt a hand grab the rim of his chest plate and pull him back upright. Sigyn was grinning. She had somehow managed to twist herself around and grab hold of Loki while hanging on to the mare's reins. "Here." She cut his wrist bindings off with her sword, then turned back to steer them onto a rocky path. Loki was confused, but immediately wrapped his arms around Sigyn's waist. "Thank you," he whispered, not sure if he should say thanks or not. "Well, if you're to be questioned, you can't talk if you're dead," Sigyn snorted, a smile upon her face.